But right now, we got to start off the CTE ball, the NFL football segment with a little bit of news and notes. And this one takes place off the field and in the courtroom. And no, this doesn't involve a certain football coach in a Bethke scenario in Head Coach Fight Club taking it to the courtroom. This is real life. And this is
the streets.
Yeah, and this is some real interesting news, actually. So, Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield is suing his dad and his brother. More specifically, the company that is owned by the father for allegedly a breach of contract over a failure to repay millions. Now, to get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of these details, the lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court in Texas this past 22nd of November on behalf of Baker Mayfield, his wife, and their own company called TBRM.
BRM. Team Baker, whatever his middle name is, Mayfield.
There you go. And it alleges that Camwood Capital Management Group, which
Baker Randolph Mayfield.
Is it really Randolph?
I don't know. I just feel like that would be a really funny one.
Find out for us as I write
Baker
this up.
Rivera Mayfield.
Reagan. Of course it's Reagan. I knew it was Reagan, and I forgot.
Would be a Reagan. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Now, to continue on with this, it says that Capital Management
two
Group...
things I'm always happy my white parents didn't do to me. Associate me with a mullet or Ronald Reagan.
I got Lee as a middle name, but luckily it's a popular enough middle name, and it wasn't based on the general, so it's okay.
That's good.
But my last name has 3 Ks in it, and sometimes I have to think about that.
That's not intentional. It's just
They didn't even get here until the mid 1900s. Fine.
There you go. All right. Now, to continue on, it alleges Camwood Capital Management Group and its subsidiaries obtained $12 million from the Mayfields between 2018 and 2021 without the Mayfields' knowledge or consent. That's some ho shit. But also, question. Listen, I get that Baker Mayfield had a pretty sizable endorsement deal and, a second contract with Cleveland, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. You can fact check me on that. So, $12 million, he probably got that in between those 3 years anyway. But shit, how do you just not know that $12 million is missing? Either way, the story continues with
a team eventually figured it out, and then they were like,
I mean, it's a private equity firm, so they're taking in more money than just Baker Mayfield's personal.
Yeah, he's investing into his dad, who is now a professional scam artist. So
yeah, but no, what I'm saying is,
that's on him a little bit. Legally, it's not, but in my opinion,
you should notice $12 million missing because there's no way that Baker Mayfield had significantly more money to just erase the fact $12 million just disappeared over.
Well, the way it works is the business, his dad is in charge of the business.
It was given as an intent to be repaid.
It was,
as far as I'm
aware.
It
was taken out of his personal account.
There were agreements,
but not necessarily $12 million at one time.
And it's not that it was missing until he can look at where it actually goes and what's being done with it, because he's of the understanding that it's being invested this way, whatever, Yeah. But obviously he figures it out, and that's what this lawsuit is. So.
And they're basically suing because, well, Caesar, you continue. I don't know if I'm stepping on, so you keep laying out the factoids.
Let's continue this. We'll continue this. So according to the lawsuit, between 18 and 21, substantial sums of money belonging to Baker and Emily were transferred from their personal banking accounts and the TBRM accounts, primarily to Texas Contract Manufacturing Group, one of its subsidiaries. The suit then alleges that the Mayfield's assets were distributed and used by Camwood to pay general operational expenses, such as payroll obligations, without proper accounting or explanation.
Yep.
And
then later, the only other two things, I read the same article, the only two things left that really matter, they did try to approach the company to resolve this already and were more or less given the runaround. Then they did take that to litigation where they settled in January. And now this piece of litigation exists because they have not complied to that repayment settlement established in January.
Indeed. And now it's requesting that Camwood repay the previously agreed upon amount of $11,741,000 plus interest. So I don't know. This isn't affecting Baker Mayfield on the field, obviously. It's just an interesting story that's out there. Not too
might
many
help,
times.
actually.
Yeah.
I mean, part of being an athlete is having a strange family. I think that the ones that don't have that have to be some of the luckiest alive, because you hear that story almost more than you hear any of the other stereotypes.
Well, it's also weird because it's not like he came from the streets or anything, like.
No, that's not weird to me at all. That's just.
Well, I just mean you generally would think that the people that are taking the money from you are people who don't have an understanding of it already.
No, see, this is why if you're gonna have this money, you're gonna have to be firm. Look, if I got money,
the fact that they had any access to his personal account seems like a problem.
That was the wild part. I was like, why does somebody that's not you and your wife have access to your personal
without you having to final approval it, at least,
No,
hey, Sonny, we're looking at some of this.
If I come into money, I might retire. I might tell my dad, all right, you're retired, but go find a hobby so you're not bothering me and bothering other people. But you ain't getting any more money than necessary to survive. So
stipend. Don't
go starting venture capitalist firms. Don't go starting any business I don't think you actually care about. You know what I mean? It's funny how much these athletes, friends and families, man, because when you're rich, you spend money to make money. So then all of a sudden it's smart. Your dad's you invest in your dad's firm. He makes you more money. You build wealth, except for the fact that you might have been raised by an idiot.
And his career earnings at this point are $85.25 million.
So not including the $100 million that he already made, right? Or
I think you can make $12 million of that disappear fairly easily.
That's through the end of this year. Is his career this year, not his contract, but.
All right. And I'm sure you got a pretty penny from Hulu and was it State Farm?
Insurance,
I don't think. Can you even calculate?
Home Depot. I don't think that's anywhere near public.
No, but you would assume that he got a good amount because those were nationally running commercials.
They used to figure out how to ballpark that because that's how Tiger would always come in. Oh, no, Tiger would come in first because of earnings on the tour, I think.
Earnings on the tour and all the endorsements, I'm sure.
I don't even know if they had to count them, though, because low-key, you can make some money on that golf course. There's some moolah winning a couple of...
And I'm sure a lot of those... I'm sure the elite of the elite golfers have these endorsements that you don't even have to do a commercial for. You're just endorsed. That's it. They sponsor
this article claims he makes $10 million a year from endorsements. But I don't know how they're not showing any work there.
Dude, trust me.
Trust me.
It's just Baker's dad.
I mean, dude, he's got a Bud Light one coming up. He's had Progressive. He's had Home Depot. He's got the Heisman stuff. I'm sure OU probably pays him still.
He's very marketable.
He's still there's OU still paying the deferred payments from whatever contract they signed him to.
He's very marketable in a very racist sense of the word, unfortunately.
Listen.
Look, why is Baker Mayfield? I'm not saying it's just.
No, you're right. You're right.
Things. It's like, why is it Baker Mayfield all over my TV? He's a solid player,
aggressively average
quarterback, above average. If you want to go there, that's fine. But the fact that I never see Lamar and I always see Baker definitely tells me a large story about how this particular industry.
I think that just speaks more to the two individuals because you're forgetting the main thing about Baker is Baker loves to hear Baker. Baker loves to see Baker.
No,
and Baker
I
wants
respect
everyone
that.
to also.
I respect that Baker will have a media career after he's a player, and it's
like I'm
already
sure
obvious.
he's
those guys.
doing endorsements probably harder than most guys are.
That I also think is fair. I still have some concern with the fact that it's just like, I get it. Mahomes is all over a lot of them.
Cam ran the show. Dak's got a bunch.
Dak doesn't count. Don't count Dak. I don't care. It's Cowboys. Quincy Carter would have got that love if he would have been competent.
I didn't see Drew Hutchinson in a ton of commercials.
No, as long as you're
fucking Ben DiNucci's turned it into something.
No, you're right.
Romo
did turn down a lot, but
he
unfortunately Romo did. Romo was also being a fucking golfer on the side too.
Not a bad one.
Yeah, not a bad one, but like, you know what I mean? So he was making that money otherwise. And didn't even need that shit to end up being a fucking TV guy anyway. So yeah. No, Dak's commercials are egregious. Dak does commercials like he knows that this is a finite resource in his life, and I respect it.
Yeah.
Lamar
Jackson take
has endorsement deals with Amazon, Nike, Hulu, and Bose.
I have seen him do Hulu commercials. I don't think I've seen any of those other commercials.
I have not seen.
I need commercials on Sunday. I need.
And then also he doesn't have an agent, right? So.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Ooh,
yeah, he's self-represented. That makes sense. That does make sense. And nobody's.
I would like to blame racism.
You would. I mean, there's. I mean, you know. There's always going to be some of that, but I don't think those companies run their stuff the same way the NFL owners do.
True,
because they don't have they have to appeal to a wider. There's a reason every commercial nowadays is a mixed race family.
You would hope.
Yep. All right. Well,
because it feels.
Let's move on, gentlemen.
Now we've been conditioned for it to feel racist if it's an all one race family. No matter what the commercial is.
No, I do. I actually appreciate it because, like, at some point it's going to get really meta and someone's just going to, like, really, like, get a Brady Bunch of just all the potential ranges of humans that could exist and put
like a textbook, like the pictures on textbooks.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like the most obscure parts of the world will be represented.